awake to the sound of a hunting horn. You dance a ring in the gathering storm. If the solstice time gets your panties in a wad, it's just the coming of the horn god. He'll call you out, make you sweat, give you a blessing that you'll never forget. So revel in the chase and let your heart beat run. Blessed are the children of the horned one.
Hi guys, it's KK Witchy, and today's video is going to be a Banishing Incense. And so I'm in my floor, and I got my stones out, I got a candle out, I've got all my ingredients out that I'm going to need. So this Banishing Incense is literally to banish, whether it's people, spirits, or whatever's hurting you. This banishing thing really gives it oomph. So a really good friend of mine asked me to do this, and so I decided I was going to do it for him. So, sorry, I have all kinds of pop-ups on my computer, and I'm like, no. Anyway, let's get started. Okay, let me direct the computer down here. So what you'll need is your morel and pestle for your herbal incense. I have my wood one that I got from the flea market, you guys know, and I love using it for loose incense. So you'll need your morel and pestle. I use stones whenever I'm doing kind of herbal work just to watch over them. Here I got jasper, tiger's eye, citrine, amethyst, clear quartz, and moonstone. Going to watch over about what I do. And what I have here is agrimony, sage. Now this can be dry sage, or if you have a smudge stick, it can be pieces of your smudge stick. As those of you that know, sage is one of those herbs that keeps away spirits, whether it's good or bad. So if you don't want any spirit work, definitely keep some sage. I think I've said that before. Cinnamon powder for a powder on the bottom of it, just so it'll burn really, really good on the charcoal disc. And rosemary leaf, sea salt, and the last thing that I will be using is rose thorns. Now, these are from my mom's rose bush, and I just got a couple of them because I didn't want to take everything that the rose had to offer. But I got a couple of them, and of course I thank the rose and everything of that sort. So you'll need some rose thorns, or that's just what I use for this Banishing Incense. Because rose bush, a lot of people ask me why I use rose thorns in this kind of ingredients, and the reason is rose is one of those beautiful things that you wouldn't think would be protective because it's so beautiful. You always think of it being innocent and things of that sort until you get close enough to pick it up, and then they kind of bite you. So rose thorns is one of those protective slash kind of grr-ness to it. That's the best I can describe it. So I've got like a couple of that. So. Now, of course, when you put the rose thorns in it, you don't want to put that in until last. And of course, when you do that, or if you handle it, you want to be super, super careful because you don't want to poke yourself and then end up bleeding. So I recommend you get like a little baggie to pour it on the charcoal disc or things of that sort, a bottle, anything like that. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so you have your morel and pestle, and of course the first thing you want to incorporate is the cinnamon powder. Now again, as in all the videos, I need to get my measuring tools out because you guys know that I forget that an awful lot. And I don't even know if I put them back in the box or not. I have a little box that I keep everything in. And I'm going to be using 1 tablespoon for this. So I'm going to be using, actually, yeah, that's good. 1 tablespoon. 1 tablespoon of cinnamon powder for the base. Now, of course, you can use cinnamon powder, frankincense, sandalwood, anything of that kind of sorts, or any other kind of powder that you wish to use. Again, if you want to tweak this, you can. So the next thing that I will be using is sage. Sorry, that's advertisements from Pandora. I like Pandora, but it can be freaking a pain in the butt to hear advertisements. Now, this is sage, and again, I'm going to be using actually, I think 2 tablespoons of sage. And again, if you have the sage bundle and you want to do that, or use any kind of other different sage, you can as well. The next thing that I'm going to be using is agrimony, and I'll be doing an new herbal video on this on the channel, and I'm just going to use 1 of that. And agrimony is really, really good for keeping negative spirits away and goblins. So if you're having a problem with goblins, definitely must have herb. So the next, rosemary. 2 tablespoons of this. Actually, let's make it 3. So I have really big bags to fill. The next thing, sea salt. Now, sea salt is one of those things that will banish spirits as well. And I do about half a palmful. I always put sea salt everywhere for some reason. I can't do anything that's like super simple and not super messy. I always gotta make a mess. But that's just me. So the last thing, so now that you have your stuff, you want to crush it up in your Moron pestle. And of course you want to put your intent into it, whether it's meditating, chanting, dancing, singing to it, whatever you want to do. And you want to crush it up really good for about maybe 3 minutes. Now, of course, you want to make sure it's powered up and good. And I guess it kind of looks like dirt and gravel. It really does, with the sea salt in it. So, the last thing that you want to incorporate is the rose thorns. Now, again, if you don't want to incorporate it in it, you don't have to. I'm trying not to lose these in my room because I go barefooted all the time. And you can only imagine if you freaking step on one of these things. I ran into my cactus last night and it hurt a lot. So, rose thorn. And I'll be using 3 for Maiden Mother Crone. Now, if you don't want to use rose bushes or you don't have any, you can always use the thorn bushes. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I'll post a picture down at the end of this video so you guys can see. They're kind of like the wild, we call them sticker bushes around here. Or at least that's what I call them. I call them sticker bushes. So, use 3. Crush it up. And again, if you decide to stick your fingers into them, please be super careful so you don't stab yourself, because it can hurt. That, or if you don't want to incorporate that at all into it, you don't have to. And that's what it should look like. Now, of course, if you want to incorporate other things, you can as well. If you want to take away things, you can as well. Or if you don't want to use any of these ingredients, you can also do that. You can make your own. So I'm hoping this video gave you some a little bit of insight about doing a banishing loose incense or getting ideas from it. I'm hoping it did that as well for you guys. So, yep, that's what it looks like. And of course, you want to have a container or a bag to put it in, such as little bags like this. This is my sack incense, and I haven't used any of that yet. But, yep, that's what it looks like. So, if you guys have any other questions, you can always message me on Facebook or reach me at kkwitchy@gmail.com. And I hope you guys have a blessed day. Bye, guys.